Well, first of all, congratulations and happy birthday. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Feel good. I'll feel even better once I get some pizza in me.
What kind of toppings are you going to have?
All of them.
Wait, do you already know where you're going to get pizza?
I'm still trying to play that game. I've heard of Giordano's is around here. I just got a couple other recommendations, so we might just do a pizza tour and just hit them all.
Go to Secret Pizza.
What's that?
Secret Pizza. We'll talk after.
Okay, deal.
Don't say she's a secret. No. No, you can't talk about Secret Pizza. No, now I'm distracted. So can you talk to me about the finish? Walk me through it.
Yeah, I can't remember if the sequence happened where I had a guillotine grip earlier in the fight, and I kind of abandoned it or felt like it wasn't quite there, or if it was the same sequence and I readjusted. But whatever it was, the second time, the time that I got the finish, it started off not too deep, and then something happened. I don't know. I shifted on my hip a little bit, and I felt it kind of slide in there a little bit deeper. Once he rolled to his back, I knew he was kind of in trouble. I thought about using it just to sweep and get on top and go back into mount and kind of control the round like I did in the first round, but somewhere in there I heard him gargling a little bit and just decided to crank on it and got the finish.
Was that kind of the fight you expected from him, or did you have to adjust in there?
Yeah, for sure. I knew Themba he has a lot of finishes on the ground. I know that's kind of his comfort zone, but I felt more than ready to trade with him there and on the feet. On the feet, I think he got a little bit better of me than I would have hoped. But that's why it's a fight. You got to fight through shit and come out the other side.
Was there any fear that another loss would mean your job? Like, did you go in there with some pressure and some of that in your brain?
Yeah, sure. Definitely knew if I took this loss, I probably wouldn't be in here for the next fight. In the same breath, also know that I have my back, and whatever happens, if I did lose, I would find some way, and life would go on. The UFC is the top of the game, and it's been my dream, but you never know what life is going to deal with you, or you never know what hand life is going to give you. And if it did give me a loss, I was going to keep going. This is my life. This is the way that fighting is the way that I learn who I am. It's the way that I become a better person. It's even if I took a loss, I wasn't going to stop. Even if I was out of the UFC, I wasn't going to stop. So once you commit to being, a lifer in the sport, it doesn't really matter if you take 3 or 4 losses in a row. You just know you're going to keep going, and whether that's in the UFC, great. Whether it's not, great. I'm just going to keep going, and it's the way I want to live my life.
What did you learn about yourself this time, or is that something you have to think about a little bit longer?
I'm a riser. No, when my back's against the wall, I claw out. I don't shell up. I don't hide from adversity. I don't know. I have my back, and that's a comforting feeling. And the world's getting crazy. It's a good thing to know you have your own back, and I have a whole team of people that have my back as well, and I'm blessed.
We didn't get to hear your whole post-fight, but we caught the end of it. It sounded like you were saying
something. They bleep me?
I don't know. We didn't hear it. We got the end. It sounded like you were giving some sort of inspirational speech about negative thoughts or negative people saying negative things. Can you kind of explain to me what you were saying?
I don't even remember, to be honest. I say a bunch of bullshit, but all my life, I played football a long time. I've done this for 7, 8 years now. Everywhere I go, I've heard all my life, you're too short, you're too small, you're too slow, you're too this, you're too that. It doesn't mean shit. It's all how you use it, and that goes for not just in fighting, that goes not just for athletics, that goes for everything. It's your skill set is your skill set. What God gives you is what God gives you, and ultimately how you implement that in the world is up to you. People can say what they can say positive things, they can say negative things. Ultimately, it's how you use it and what you do with it.
You can say whatever you want back here. We won't bleep you.
Hallelujah.
Who's next for you, and when you want to get back in there?
Who? I didn't get to do this. I don't have any call-outs. All I want to do is, Mom, Dad, if y'all end up watching this, thank y'all so much. The world gets real small when you lose a couple fights, but throughout the whole thing, ups and downs, and not just my pro career, not just my UFC career, but my amateur career. Every sport I played growing up, my parents have been there through thick and thin, supporting me the whole way through, and I owe y'all the world. Thank y'all. I love y'all.
Thank you.
I was going to say, before you got to the UFC, you were pretty much running through everybody. What was it like getting here? You got through the Contender Series, and then to get those first losses at the UFC, was there ever any point where doubt started entering your mind? You're like, wondered if you were able to compete at this level, and what does a win like what happened today do to squash that?
Yeah, sure. I think if anybody comes in here and says they don't have doubts or they don't have, even if you're winning, when I was 9-0, I didn't expect to, go on a tear for the rest of my life and be Khabib Nurmagomedov out of Louisiana. But it's almost like when you expect to hit a road bump, when it does happen, it's not a shock. And then when you hit a second one, it's still not a shock. And I don't know. I didn't expect to get here and be all peaches and cream and roses and me just run through everybody. That's never been me. I've never been the kid to come in and just set the world on fire at once. But I am the kid that's going to stick with it and figure it out. And I'm going to do that more and more.
You talk about Louisiana. There's something about Lafayette, Louisiana, or something about Louisiana has some tough fighters coming out of that area. What is it about Louisiana that makes people like yourself so tough?
I think it's the king cake, bro. The king cake. It's Mardi Gras season. I'm about to go home, get me some more king cake. It's something in the king cake. It might be the crawfish. It might be the water. I don't know. Who knows? Don't drink the water down there. No, I'm just kidding.
Yesterday at the weigh-ins, your opponent gets up in your face a little bit and starts getting a little bit. Did that surprise you, and what does that do for you going into the fight night when your opponent starts to kind of, I guess, act like a fool up there on the weigh-ins?
It just doesn't. I don't know. For me, it was more encouraging than anything. Themba's a good guy. I know that's out of character for him. I know he means a lot to a lot of people back home, and I purposely didn't look up his story because I wanted to somewhat like dehumanize him this fight. I didn't want to get caught up in the, he's this great guy that comes from this rough background and yada, yada, yada. I guess him doing that for me, it just showed it was a little bit out of character. And to me, that just showed that, the lights, the cameras, the being in the UFC, not that it was getting to him, but it was something on his mind, and to be honest, like in the back, he was all cool with me. So to do one thing in front of the cameras and then something else behind it just kind of doesn't add up. And you stay in this game long enough, you kind of see those things,
And not counting the contenders win, but what does this win mean for you to finally get your UFC win?
It means a lot, man. I need the money. I have probably $100 in my bank account, and that's probably going to be gone whenever this hotel charges me my fee. So, to have money in the bank account and not hit an overdraft fee will be huge.
Yeah. I guess going forward and looking at the rest of this year, what sort of goals are you setting for yourself? How many times are you hoping to fight? And just what sort of goals are you setting for yourself this year?
Yeah, dude, I like to be active. I know it was a lot easier on the regional scene to be more active. So this year, my goal is to try to do a lot more grappling competitions just to, scratch that competitive itch. I don't have any injuries. I feel good. If they gave me a fight next week, I would probably take it. They probably won't. It'll probably be another 3 to 4 months. Hopefully it won't be 6 like the last time, but I'll do grappling competitions in between, and I'll just stay ready.
And as a Louisiana guy, when you're eating crawfish, do you suck the head or not?
No, I don't understand. I get it, but it's just too much. It's too much for me. Just give me the meat and I'm good. The potatoes, the crawfish, or the corn and all that, I'll tear that up, but I can't do the sucking the head of it. It's not. It just doesn't do it for me.
Well, I know you want to get pizza, but we do have lots of good seafood boil places here in town as well. We could hit you up offline if you wanted to do
I think I gotta wait. I gotta wait for back home for seafood. Something about seafood in the desert just doesn't strike me.
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you, bro.
AJ back here. Just real quick. Your only losses are decision losses, right? And coming into this when you're possibly fighting for your roster spot here, was there a different mindset you had in camp or coming in today, right? As far as like, maybe I just need to make sure the judges don't even have to touch this fight. Was there a mindset change?
To be honest, man, I feel like most of my decision losses are from me going for the finish and then like blowing my wad, not being. I'm a finisher when I fight, and sometimes that gets the best of me. Whenever I see somebody's hurt, like Ange, I had hurt Ange and just threw everything. The first fight I felt like when I fought Matt Simmelsberger, I felt like I didn't take enough risk. It was a conscious decision whenever I fought Ange at UFC 280, whatever it was, that if I got him hurt, I was just going to go for it. And then now, third time's a charm, I guess, but my focus this fight was if I got somebody in a bad position, take my time, yes, but also just like slowly keep the stove getting hotter. Don't bring it to a boil right away. Just keep slowly turning that heat on, and let that kind of boil them up,
They're showing your highlights here on the sides. I know you can't see it maybe, but
shaved head, dude. Looking like real Slim Shady up there.
There you go. It looked like, because you were saying you kind of over aggressive in your previous fights, trying to almost force a finish. On this one, it really did look like you just let it come to you. Was that like something like, because I mean, it looked like it came to you, and as soon as you got it, you're like, I'm not letting this thing go for any reason.
Yeah, to be honest, I was going to use I like using that guillotine to sweep more than anything, just because I don't really like burning my arms out. But somewhere in there, I felt that like I could finish it. And then once I got that feeling, I was like, okay, this is the time to go for it. And worst case scenario, I did end up on top with the guillotine, so I would have ended up right where I wanted to be anyway. So,
All right, happy birthday, man. February is the best month to have a birthday.
amen.